Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Explained, and today I'm going to explain why One Piece stayed successful for well over 2 decades. But before we're going to take a closer look at why One Piece is able to be still successful, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube Thanks function for making one-time donations. Now with that said, you probably have already guessed, it's not the fan service, it's not the cast bigger than that of Game of Thrones, it's not even the distinct world and art style or the engaging storyline alone. It's the consistency with which all of this is presented. If you take an absolute Simpsons fan from the 90s, gave him all the relevant context that he needs in order to understand everything modern Simpson talks about, he still would be absolutely disheartened. Don't get me wrong, delivering 8 full seasons of absolute peak generation-defining humor, to the point that it is referenced decades later, is something that very few long-running shows have ever achieved. Speaking of 8 good seasons, is anyone familiar with 2.5 Men? But, jokes aside, it's still in decline. Simpsons has still changed. Dramatically so, and its decline in popularity and quality is pretty obvious. But if you take a One Piece fan that has just watched everything up to the Along Park arc and show him the Fishman Island arc, he would feel right at home. Nothing has changed. Every character is still in character. Everyone is recognizable. It's still exactly the same show, 20 years later. Here's another point to illustrate what I mean. I was still a kid when Don Quixote do Flamingo was introduced, and I grew up, finished school, studied, and worked at a different company in a different city than today, when his big moment to shine finally came. And he not only stayed completely true to the way he was introduced and how he has conducted himself, but the revelation why he is the way he is, what his past holds for dark secrets, his goals and his motivations, were absolutely satisfying my inner child completely. This is the revelation I was kinda hoping for decades ago, and One Piece delivered. This is insane. One Piece is now running for decades without losing quality or draw. It is the truly never-ending story in a sense, because all of the million different elements, characters, plots, themes, and the entire world comes together in a logical, easy-to-understand way. Every character had his moment to shine, and those who didn't surely will get the opportunity to do so. This is the unwritten promise that had been kept for decades by now. That One Piece stays One Piece, keeps everything it has built up to this point, and that it will build on top of all of it. For 2 decades, no matter what happened, you could always watch the newest episode or read the newest issue of One Piece and know that you will get exactly what you have paid for. Again, having this popular of a show being so consistent for so long is an anomaly. One Piece has seen the rise and fall of Marvel's cinematic universe. From Game of Thrones hype to the Game of Thrones disappointment. It's older than a significant portion of its fans, and despite all of the absurdity in the show itself, it always managed to stay true to itself. And that's a miracle I'm happy to witness and enjoy. And with that said, now it's your turn. What are your thoughts about the consistency of One Piece? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, I say thank you very much to all of my Patreons for supporting this channel, and thanks again to all users of the YouTube Thanks function. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.